I went to exactly one party in my new wealthy neighborhood. Then my neighbor Brenda sued me. In court, she held her bruised and battered daughter Tiffany. She accused my son of rape. Mid-hearing, Tiffany tugged her collar down. Red marks circled her neck. He tried to rip my pants off. She sobbed. He tried to force himself on me. I fought back. So he beat me. He ruined my face. Outside the courthouse, protesters held up signs, calling my son a piece of trash, a spoiled rich kid online. A photoshopped memorial of me went viral. The caption read, "The unfit mother should die with her son." My company's stock plummeted. But I just sat there, stone-faced. I asked for my son, Cooper, to be brought in. The courtroom doors opened. Cooper walked in. Everyone froze. Miss Mitchell, Tiffany's lawyer Gavin, glared at me. Let's be clear. On the night of July 15th, did your son, or did he not, brutally assault my client? I sat at the defendant's table. The wild accusation hung in the air. I said nothing. Outside, protesters chanted, "Justice for Tiffany." Camera flashes pulsed through the windows like lightning. I do not, I said, my voice cold. Gavin turned to the jury. His face was a mask of agony. Ladies and gentlemen, she refuses to take any responsibility for her son's violent rampage. I glanced at the gallery. My new neighbors whispered. Their eyes dripped with disgust. Mrs. Patterson was shaking her head. The Johnsons turned their faces away completely. Just last week, these people were all smiles at the neighborhood barbecue. They couldn't wait to welcome a tech mogul to the block. When they heard I had a son, a bodybuilding champion, no less, they practically tripped over themselves. He must be such a fine young man. They cooed. You're so lucky. Now, they looked at me like I was garbage. The hypocrisy was thick enough to choke on. Your Honor, Gavin said, opening a file. I would like to present the court with photos of Miss Tiffany's injuries. A picture of Tiffany appeared on the large screen. She was wearing a neck brace. Her right arm was in a cast. There were clear scrapes on her face. The jury gasped. What do these injuries tell us? Gavin pointed at the screen. They tell us how terrifying the attacker's strength was, how brutal his methods were. He brought up another photo. It was blurry, taken in the dark on a cell phone. In the picture, a man's back was turned as he seemed to lunge at a woman on the ground. This was taken by a neighbor who heard the screams. It's blurry, but we can clearly see an assault in progress. Angry murmurs filled the gallery. My phone buzzed on the table. A stock alert. The company was down another 3%. I glanced at it, then turned the phone face down. The gesture did not go unnoticed. It was cold, arrogant. Gavin shot me a smug smirk. He turned back to the jury. Her attitude says it all. She thinks her money can wash away her son's sins. The judge banged his gavel. Order. But it did nothing to stop the storm on social media. Someone in the courtroom was live streaming, and the comments flew by. This woman is so cold-blooded. I held my posture, straight-backed, like I was in a boardroom, not a courtroom. The numbers were clear. The public outrage was growing exponentially. The hashtag #JusticeForTiffany had 50,000 retweets in 3 hours. Everything was going according to their script. Now, Gavin said, walking toward the jury box, I would like to ask Miss Tiffany to describe for us, in her own words, that horrific night. Tiffany slowly stood up, walking to the witness stand with a tremor in her step. Every move seemed painful, difficult, as if the slightest motion would tear her wounds open. Good acting. She sat down, took a deep breath, and her eyes welled up with tears again. I'll never forget those eyes, she choked out. They were filled with a beastly rage. Cooper looked at me like, she paused as if searching for the right words, like an animal staring at its prey. The jury gasped. A middle-aged man in the gallery could not take it anymore. He shot up from his seat, pointing at me. Scum like him belong in a cage. The judge banged his gavel again, and the noise in the gallery slowly died down. My phone buzzed once more. Another stock alert. The drop had widened to 5%. I glanced at the screen. My expression unchanged. My calm seemed to break her. You. She shot up from the witness stand. Her finger trembled as it aimed at me. I'm reliving a nightmare up here, and you're worried about your money. Her tears started flowing harder. Do you have any idea what I have been through? I was going to be a model. Your son ruined me. He completely ruined me. Gavin rushed to her side to calm her down. Tiffany, deep breaths. Just tell your story. The court will get you justice. She sat back down, wiping her tears with a shaky hand. Go on, dear. Tell everyone what happened that night. Tiffany took a deep breath.